This is cool. I recently discovered that the Docker Hub now supports immutable tags as an optional option. So as a repository creator, you can choose to enable this on a per repo basis for either all of your image tags or only the ones that match a certain regular expression. So in this video, we're going to be trialing out this together because I actually haven't played with this feature yet. So we're going to be jumping into the terminal, building images, making repositories, and just seeing all the different immutability settings. So with that said, there are some pros and cons between immutable and immutable. So immutable tags, that's going to be the default option here, even with this feature existing here. That's currently how you're probably used to things working, right? If you were to build an image and push it up to the Docker Hub with, I don't know, like a v1 tag, and then change your image and push it up with the same v1 tag again, that's just going to work. It's mutable, it's allowed to change. But immutable is going to prevent that from being pushed in theory. In theory, because I haven't tried it out yet. But the idea there is, as a repository creator, this is pretty nice because it kind of protects you against yourself. Maybe you're making some release images or production images and you don't want to accidentally overwrite them. It also gives an explicit contract to consumers of your image to be like, hey, by the way, this image tag, it's immutable. Now you know going into it what to expect here. It's not going to change over time. And, like, for example, the Debian official image on the Docker Hub or the Python and, many other ones, they are mutable. And that's not necessarily bad. But like, for example, if you were to build the Debian image today and then build it again 3 or 6 months ago, chances are it's going to be different because there's going to be security patches rolled in. And, on one hand, that's an advantage. But also, if you're doing some, I don't know, audits or whatever at a company where you have to demonstrate exactly when a security patch was applied, then yeah, having immutable tags is nice because if the tag name changes, you know exactly when that tag changed there. So you can say definitively, at a certain point in time, that's when it changed. Now, with that said, as someone building your own Docker images using official or other images on the Docker Hub, you could sort of get that immutability without this feature existing because you can just put image digest in the front line of your Docker file. I've done videos about that one in the past. So for example, if you were to build an image today and then 3 months from now, if that digest doesn't change, then you will get the same layers, you will get the same security patches there without them being auto-updated. So you can change the digest and then also get that audit trail if you'd like. But yeah, still, this option is really nice to have available. And then, it does help creators as well. You can see some pros and cons here. With that said, all I did ahead of time here was I created a repository, testing TBD. It's private. I'm going to delete it right after the video here. I pushed up an image here, and I did not play with any of the immutability settings. So let's go here and take a look real quick at the Docker file that I was using so we can see how we got into the situation here. So we have a Docker file here, using the latest stable version of Debian at the time of this video here. And then, yeah, a little label that we're going to change over time. So if we do Docker image build, we're going to build, I don't know what happened with delay there, but yeah, testing TBD, and then we don't need to put in latest, but let's do it. Why not, to be explicit? We're going to build the current directory, hub immutable. That's the directory that we're in now. This should build pretty quick here. Docker image builds. Oh yeah, duh, I need to tag it. Sure. Okay, let's do that. And then we can do Docker image push, nickjj, testing TBD, and this should push right up. Didn't put the latest in there because it's going to be by default. Okay, so that looks good. And then if we go here and reload the page, we should see some activity here, maybe pushed, I don't know, a second ago or seconds ago or less than a minute ago, I don't know, less than a minute ago. There we go. Relative times are fun. So we have that there. Okay, cool. Let's change the label to be, I was going to add a 2 there for my name and then rebuild. And we should be able to demonstrate here that, yeah, we should be able to push this. This time, let's use latest. Why not? Just for fun, just to show that both work. And then, yeah, in this case here, this should push no problem because it is mutable by default, meaning it can change. So that is good. Everything is good. Cool. Okay, let's take a look here at the settings to see what we need to mess around with. And we have some tag mutability settings here. So we have all tags are mutable, all tags are immutable, so tags cannot be updated. And then we also have specific tags are immutable, where we can have a regular expression here as well, it seems. And it looks like maybe we can add more than one. But yeah, let's actually play with all tags are immutable just to see how this works. Let's confirm that it also works with the latest tag as well, although we will try multiple tags just for fun. Okay, so mutability settings have been updated. Let's just hard reload the page, make sure it's been saved. And here, yep, all tags are immutable. So going back here, if we do nothing other than push this, let's see what happens. Because right now the image did not change. We didn't build a new image. We didn't change any contents. But will it get blocked here, even if we're trying to push the same exact image? No. Okay, that's fine. So let's go and just revert. Well, actually, let's make a 3 or something. Then we will build this image here, a latest tag version of this one. And then we will push it again. And this, I would expect it to fail, I guess, because, yeah, in this case here, Immutable tags have been enabled here for all of them. And here we can see the tag is already assigned to an image in this repo, can't be updated due to immutability settings. Push this image, use a different tag. Good. Let's take a look at the error code just to see. Yep, we got exit code 1. This is a really descriptive image here, which is nice. You know, maybe as a creator, you didn't realize that maybe you have this enabled or something like that. So we get some really good feedback here. Okay. So with that said, we demonstrated this works with the latest tag. Let's just, retag an image here. We'll build this one as v1. This should be pushable because again, we're not going to be overwriting latest. In this case here, we are going to be pushing a brand new tag with the, nickgen attack is 3 here. But yeah, this should be good. There's the v1 there. If we go to the tags, then we should see both the v1 and the latest. Okay, great. Cool. All right, let's go to the settings here. Maybe make specific tags are immutable. And there's a couple of different ways to go about this one, but let's say that we want the latest tag to be mutable because it's, in the name, latest. It's reasonable to expect maybe that can change over time. But maybe we have some release tags that are going to be immutable, basically anything that's not latest or whatever naming conventions that you like. It feels reasonable to maybe have a regular expression that says, if it starts with V and it's all of them, so basically all the tags that start with V are going to be immutable. Oh, this is pretty neat too. It looks like there's a preview here showing you a list of them. It's only a brief preview of tags, not a full comprehensive list. Good to know. I guess we should add that. And then here we go. And it looks like we can add another one as well. I don't know, let's just add it for fun. Yep, so you just get a list here. Let's delete this one. Okay, looks like that got deleted. But yeah, so we have this one here. Let me save that to make sure it's saved. Yep, it is. And then hard reload again, just to see what the UI looks like. I don't know, it's a habit of mine. As a web developer, I always like to see these things. So, okay, specific tags are immutable, ones that start with V with anything after. So it doesn't matter if it's a V1, a V whatever, maybe it's a timestamp like a year, month, day, or a get hash or whatever you're gonna do. That's all gonna be available there to be immutable. So with that said, let's change this to be a 4 and then rebuild this image to be latest because we wanna test this to say, this should work because latest will not match that regular expression. So let's push here latest. Will this work? I hope so. Nice. Okay, that did work. We didn't get an error. Let's go here and confirm in tags. Yep, there's latest pushed less than a minute ago. That worked successfully. Now, if we go back to here, we don't need to change the Docker file because we already have v4. What are we going to do? We are going to tag this one as v1. That should match our regular expression, and this should fail, right? Yes, awesome, cool. So this actually looks like it's working how you would expect it to. We have the protection of immutability on this because it matches the regex, and then also the latest one is allowed. Now, again, making latest allowed to be mutable is totally up to you. You don't have to do that. You can just make all of them be immutable or whatever ones that you want here. That's also interesting to note. It looks like when you change these radio buttons, the visibility of that regex goes away. That's pretty interesting. Let's see. Let's go back to immutable. Just to confirm that things can go back to their original state here. This should just work now, assuming, maybe there's like a delay of a couple seconds. I don't know. But yeah, okay. So that's pretty quick there. And then let's go back to specific tags are immutable. So yeah, it looks like Docker does save your regular expressions here. So even though technically this one wasn't active, because again, this is the saved state here, it's still there if you wanted to go back to it. If you wanted to clean it up, I guess you can delete it. What happens if you reload the page now? There we go. Looks like it didn't get removed when you deleted it. I don't know. Maybe you need to actually save, well, I don't want to make it public. What am I doing? Mutability settings. Oh, it's already, okay. Well, what if you do this then? Because it was already in this state here. You couldn't save it again. But now if we go back to here, yeah, okay. So it looks like even when you do the delete action there, you actually have to explicitly hit a save action. So changing it away from something else. But now if we go back to here, yeah, it's all mutable. Cool. All right. Well, the feature looks like it's working in general here. We have the capabilities to tweak this however we'd like. Again, just as a reminder, this is at the per repo settings here. So this is not going to apply to all the different repos in your Docker Hub account. It's only the ones that you want to mess around with here and maybe make all of your tags or some of your tags immutable. With that said, if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer all of them in the comments. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Really does help a lot. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.